22-year-old female New York school employee charged with a felony for allegedly sending nudes to a 14-year-old boy. Right? Let's read the caption from Spiritual Word. Anamaria Milazzo has been arrested for sending the photos to a young boy. She has allegedly been sending them to him for 3 months. Milazzo was issued a ticket and will need to appear at court at a later date. The woman worked at the Greater Southern Tier Board of Cooperative Educational Services, BOCES, in upstate New York. Right? Now, instead of just reading completely from the description, let's watch the video. And I want you to take I'm going to give you guys a second look at this woman right here, because this is quite interesting. And I hope people have been taking notice on the female predators, how they look like. And I keep telling you, women like this, particularly the ones that are, people would say, are conventionally attractive, these are the worst of the female predators, or sorry, the worst of the predators in general. You mean to tell me you couldn't find nobody? So this is a deliberate targeting. This is a real predator that needs to be locked up for a very long time. But we already know, based off her looks, they're probably not going to do that to her. And then on top of that, you have these weirdo male simps in the comments that always be saying that same weirdo stuff. Where were teachers like that when I was younger? Like, this is why women like this can get away with heinous crimes like this, because you're always going to have men giving women like this a pass. But let's watch the video describing this atrocity.
Police say sent nude photos of herself to a 14-year-old boy, now faces a felony charge and potential time in prison. According to the Steuben County Sheriff's Office, 22-year-old Anamaria Milazzo was arrested for sending indecent photos to minors. That's a felony. She's also charged with endangering the welfare of a child. Police say the boy in question is 14 years old. Police say they acted after a resource officer at Greater Southern Tier BOCES got a tip. She is now charged with a felony, that's sending indecent photos to a minor. She's also charged with endangering the welfare of a child. Under New York's no cash bail law, she didn't spend time in jail. She's already out with an appearance ticket for a future court date.
Crazy. You hear what they said? She's not even in a holding cell. She's not even in jail. Right now, she just has a ticket and then just basically a date, a court date. This is some interesting stuff. This is some interesting stuff. Right here. We open up the website again. It says on June 9th, 2025, a school resource officer assigned to the Greater Southern Tier BOCES received a complaint alleging Milazzo sent indecent material to a minor. During the investigation, the criminal division learned that over a 3-month period, Milazzo had sent nude photos of herself to a 14-year-old male. She has since been fired. Now, we're going to read some of these comments. So, Millie Thoughts, I know this guy, shout out to him. He said, damn, shorty, he was 14. You could have just sent them to me. Right? Now, here comes the weirdo comments. Bro, where was this when I was growing up? Right? Guys like that really, they weird me out. But anyways, somebody said, what the heck do you see in a 14-year-old at 22? Somebody said, give them the same punishment you would give men and they will stop, which is not going to happen. Particularly when it comes to women in crimes, they tend to be more on the lenient side because they still look at them as future mothers or potential mothers. So this is why women tend to get, leaner sentencing. So this is also part of the thing, right? Right here. He said, if y'all wouldn't want a grown man sending nude pictures to your underage daughters, why would you want a grown woman sending them to your sons? And this is where we are going to close the comment section, or actually after this right here. So let me actually read this guy's comment. He says, no, the kid was not lucky. No, you did not want this type of woman around when you were in school. I agree. He said, yes, she might look attractive, but that is no excuse to send inappropriate photos to a minor. And for that, she is actually one of the least attractive people on the planet. And I will even go a step further and say this. This makes her even more dangerous. And somebody like this should be completely disbarred from kids. And I'm not just talking about young boys. I'm talking about young girls. She should not be around kids. You mean to tell me, you young lady, This 22-year-old, I mean, you mean to tell me you couldn't find nobody your age? You couldn't even find an older dude? You couldn't find another? Because like I said, you got from 22, you got from 22. If you want, I guess, a younger dude, you can get an 18-year-old dude to take interest. You couldn't even find an 18-year-old? 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. This, and mind you, this is a conventionally attractive woman, right? So this is what I would call, like, on a scale, on a beauty scale from 0 through 10. This is a strong 6, meaning, because this is a picture with her without makeup, really. This is a strong 6 out of 10. So that means with makeup on, people might think she's a 9, right? Or even most people would say just off Jeep, they might say she could pass off as an 8 without the makeup. And I can't even argue you, right? And you mean to tell me you couldn't find nobody? You couldn't find no men out there, huh? So this is also where I've been trying to warn people, particularly about, these female teachers. The female teachers, they are the new predators. These are the people you got to watch out for, because men, there's always going to be an eye on men when it comes to men and kids. There's always going to be somebody's going to be watching them. Somebody. Even if he's completely trustworthy, there's always going to be somebody that has their eye on the man with kids, right? If he's working with kids, if he's a teacher, a tutor, of that capacity, somebody's going to be keeping an eye on him, right? What makes women like this dangerous is people are going to give her the benefit of the doubt just off GP, just off looks, right? And so a woman like this, thank the Lord when I'm looking at this information, right? Thankfully, it doesn't look like any contact was had between her and the 14-year-old. Well, they probably, I don't know, they maybe haven't figured it out yet. Maybe they were sexually active, but it looks like they caught it just when it came to her sending pictures. So hopefully it just stopped there, right? But a woman like this, for you to, I'm talking about, you can't find nobody your age and you're going for a 14-year-old boy. This is very concerning. And I kept trying to tell people even earlier, because people would make excuses when they would catch these female teachers with their 18-year-old students, 17-year-old students. And I was like, guys, notice they're going to keep going younger and younger. Because at first it was just the high schoolers, but I'm telling you, it's a lot of female teachers that be with middle schoolers too. They don't get caught, but now you're seeing they keep getting caught with younger and younger boys, younger and younger boys. You just saw what happened with the famous footballer, the famous 17-year-old footballer, Lamine Yamal. Him with the 29-year-old woman. They're targeting younger and younger men. Younger and younger, sorry, let me stop, not even say men. Younger and younger boys. They're going to keep going younger and younger and younger until something serious is somebody actually starts putting legislation, or the powers that may be, or the courts actually start punishing female predators. But as long as we don't take it seriously enough, they're just going to keep targeting younger and younger and younger boys. Up until then you see how, like, all those comments, let me show you something, right? You see how all these comments, right? Oh, where was this when I was growing up? And then those comments are going to stop when you're going to start seeing more female teachers, when they stop saying 14-year-old and they start saying 9-year-old boy, then those comments are going to stop. Then it's going to be 8-year-old boy, 7-year-old boy, 5. This is the stuff that I warn people about. And like I said, a woman like this needs to be locked up. Because if a woman like this is going after a 14-year-old boy, she was deliberate in this. She was very deliberate in this. Very deliberate. But anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comment section. It's been a while since I've covered, a female, the Teachers Are Thoughts series. This is a theory that a series that I started in 2022. I haven't been consistent in it, obviously, but this is something I always wanted to put out there. And before it even started catching steam, I had to make sure I put it out there. So I wasn't playing, catch up when it comes to this specific subject. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. What do you think about this story? Thank you for watching, and please like, share, and subscribe.